You know that feeling? The one where your day is just a constant stream of notifications, deadlines, and demands piling up? If you feel like you're just permanently on high alert, you are definitely not alone. And believe it or not, there's an ancient biological reason for that very modern feeling. So let's start by digging into what's really going on inside our own heads.
To really get a handle on stress, we first have to understand that our bodies come with this incredible built-in alarm system. It's a piece of evolutionary genius, and it was designed for one primary purpose: to keep us alive. And right here, this is the core of the problem. We've got a fundamental mismatch. See, our internal alarm, what we call the fight or flight response, it was perfected to handle immediate physical threats. Think, a predator jumping out of the bushes. But today, that same alarm is getting triggered constantly by things that aren't life-threatening at all. Your body, you see, it doesn't know the difference between a tiger and 1,000 unread emails. It just registers threat and flips the switch.
And that's the real issue, isn't it? When this system is always on, it leads to chronic stress. And that can have some serious consequences for our physical and mental health. It's like the alarm is just stuck in the on position.
So, if our ancient alarm is stuck on, how do we manually hit the reset button? Well, this is where mindfulness comes in. And look, it's not about getting rid of stress. That's just impossible. It's about fundamentally changing our relationship with it.
Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, who really brought mindfulness into the world of modern medicine, gave us this foundational idea. And the keywords here are on purpose. This isn't about spacing out or zoning out. No, it's a deliberate skill. It's the active practice of paying attention to right now, without that constant layer of judging or criticizing yourself. When you boil it all down, the practice really just has two key ingredients. First, there's awareness, just noticing what's happening, noticing your thoughts, your feelings, what's going on in your body. And second, there's acceptance, just letting it be there without immediately trying to fix it or push it away. That's the whole game, right there. Awareness and acceptance. Okay, so the theory is great, but how do we actually apply this in a life that's already packed? Let's get really practical with 5 simple habits you can start bringing into your day, maybe even today. We're going to start with the absolute foundation of mindfulness, the 1-minute breath. And it's exactly as simple as it sounds. You're not trying to achieve some kind of mystical state here. You are just anchoring your attention to the physical feeling of your own breathing. And that last step, that's the most important part. The moment you notice your mind is wandered off, and it will, and you gently bring it back, that is the practice. That's the win. And here's the amazing part, the immediate payoff. This simple act sends a direct signal to your nervous system that says, hey, you're safe. It actively shifts you out of that fight or flight mode and into the rest and digest state. It's a physiological reset you can literally trigger in 60 seconds, no matter where you are. Okay, let's talk about the first 5 minutes of your day. For most of us, what's the first thing we do? We reach for our phone, and we immediately flood our brains with other people's problems and agendas. A mindful morning is all about reclaiming that very first minute. Before the digital chaos, you just connect with yourself. The benefit here is actually pretty profound. Instead of starting your day by reacting to whatever the world throws at you, you start by grounding yourself. You begin from a place of calm, a place of intention, and that makes you way less likely to be thrown off course by the first stressful email or news alert that comes your way. Okay, so I know what some of you might be thinking right now. A minute of breathing? 60 seconds in bed? Come on, does this stuff really do anything meaningful? It sounds almost too simple, right? Well, what if I told you that with each of these tiny little moments, you are literally changing the physical structure of your brain? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the incredible science behind why these tiny habits can have such a huge impact over time. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is straight-up biology. The scientific principle that makes all this work is called positive neuroplasticity. It's a term really brought to light by the work of neuropsychologist Dr. Rick Hansen. And the big idea is this: our brains are constantly being shaped, molded, and rewired by our experiences. Think of it like this. You've probably heard the phrase, neurons that fire together wire together. Well, every single time you intentionally bring your focus back to your breath, you are strengthening the neural circuits for attention and for calm. It's like doing a bicep curl for your prefrontal cortex. Over time, you actually build a brain that is structurally better at handling stress. So with that idea of neuroplasticity in our back pocket, Let's get back to our list of habits, because now we know these aren't just little behaviors. These are actual brain training exercises. How many of us eat while we're scrolling, typing, or watching a show? I mean, most of us, right? Mindful eating is the simple practice of turning a meal back into a sensory experience. For just one meal a day, your only job is to eat and to notice what it's like to eat. The benefits here are twofold. First, the food actually tastes better. But second, your body can digest it more efficiently because you're in that calm rest and digest state. Plus, you're retraining your brain to actually listen to your body's real signals of hunger and fullness, signals we so often just ignore or override. This next habit weaves mindfulness right into movement. Whether it's the walk from your car to the office or just a 10-minute break to stretch your legs, you can turn it into a practice. Start by just feeling that simple, solid sensation of your feet making contact with the ground. It's a perfect anchor that brings you right here, right now. This one is especially powerful for breaking that cycle of anxious, repetitive thoughts, what scientists call rumination. By focusing on physical sensations and your environment, you gently unhook your mind from those spinning thought loops. You get out of your head and into your body. Okay, so what do you do in the heat of the moment when a difficult emotion like anxiety or anger just hits you? The acronym RAIN, which was popularized by the teacher Tara Brach, gives you a really powerful four-step tool. First, you recognize what's happening. Just name it. Okay, anxiety is here. Then you allow it to be there. You stop fighting it. Next, you investigate with gentle curiosity, not judgment. Where do I feel this in my body? And finally, you nurture yourself with some self-compassion. It's a strategy for meeting those tough moments with wisdom instead of just reacting. All right, so we've covered 5 powerful, science-backed habits. But just knowing them is only the first part. The most important piece of this entire explainer is what you decide to do now, how you choose to begin. And here is maybe the most important takeaway of all. Please do not try to do all 5 of these things tomorrow. That's just going to become another thing on your to-do list, another source of stress. Remember, the power of neuroplasticity, of rewiring your brain, comes from consistency, not from intensity. A few minutes, practiced every day, will literally change your brain more than a long, hour-long session you do once a month. So this is where it gets real. Just look at these 5 habits: the 1-minute breath, the mindful morning, mindful eating, mindful walking, or using RAIN. Which one of those just feels the most doable for you right now, the most accessible? Just pick one. Make a small commitment to just try it tomorrow. That single, small step, that's how you begin to rewire your brain for a calmer, more present life.